Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Building a Nation with Team Canada. And today, we switch gears a little bit and bring to you the Canadian Championship for 2023, consisting, of course, of the three MLS teams, Montreal, Vancouver, and Toronto FC, versus one wild card, and this year it is Ottawa Fury. They're a perennial contender in this competition, or at least, they make it this far quite often. Can we actually see they have not won one of these competitions yet? Have they played a full schedule here? Here we go. So in the preliminary round, can we actually look at these? Look at that. Canadian Championship. They beat Mount Royal Outremont 8-0, so they didn't really have a long way to go. And then we had several unknown teams because we make it automatically into the bye. Yeah, we didn't have to play anybody. We didn't have to play in to get to the Montreal Impact. So, it's just sort of this whole situation going on here. Ottawa makes it in. I don't know how they got there to that round. Because, Anyway, trust me, in our minds and in our hearts, there was a whole long competition where all the teams in Canada got to play off for a chance to reach this point, and Ottawa did it. Let's just believe that that's what happened. So, how are we looking so far in Vancouver? Well, we're actually looking pretty good. The end of the last video, you saw that we are in fine form right now. Undefeated in our last 7 contests. Just one draw versus today's opponent, Montreal. And honestly, this is a game that we could have and should have won. We started off outstanding. 2 goals in the first half, 4th minute. Dario Zanata, one of our youngsters, got in there playing attacking. Well, I guess he's not a youngster. He's a guy we brought in this year. He's actually 26, so he's kind of one of our veterans. But he's a guy we brought in off the waiver wire, and, he's played well for us, but now, of course, he's injured, so he can't play in this game. But back then, he was playing well, scoring goals. We scored 2 goals right before the half. Jonathan Jackson-Amell, 45 plus 2, scored. And speaking of Jonathan Jackson-Amell, there's been a bit of a news controversy around him, saying that Scotland is sniffing around this guy again. And I don't know how, because we called him up for the last World Cup, but yet here he is, still eligible for both Canada and Scotland. So maybe there's some sort of situation where you can switch allegiances, but I don't like it. I'm not happy about that, so we'll see. Maybe he doesn't have enough appearances. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna play him in the Gold Cup. Not the Gold Cup. We're gonna play him in the Nations League. That's for sure. We need a bit of a shake-up on the roster anyway. If you saw our last little disappointment there. But anyway, we've been playing well with a very young squad, and now we get some of our veterans back. So we'll see if that makes a difference versus Montreal. Take a look at the competitions here. Supporters Shield. Montreal 5th in the league. So they've been playing very well this season again. The Canadian teams are, playing outstanding just like they did last year. This is part of the goal of the save, is to get these Canadian teams playing well, having good players, getting success. And all 3 teams are playing well. 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the league, all Canadian teams, and then Atlanta and New York up top by a few points. So we're all playing well. It's going to be a very, very interesting and dynamic Canadian Championship this year. The board wants us to reach the final, so we can't really take this one lightly. We have to beat Montreal. We have to get to the finals. So, play our team selection here. Montreal are the favorites, 6-4 on this home leg. It's been a wild ride here. We've played Montreal quite a bit. We've won 6, drawn 3, and lost 2. So we should be the favorites historically, but right now for this one game, they're listed as the favorites. They come in inconsistent form, 3 wins, a loss, and a draw. We, of course, are in excellent form, 4 wins and 1 draw in our last 5. Nowinski's suspended. Jonathan Jackson-Amel is suspended. Dario Zanata, I told you, the goal scorer, is out with tinnitus. They've got a couple of guys out, Duncan and Camacho. But other than that, they're looking pretty good. Giovanni Savarese is the coach. How about this? Former New York Cosmos head coach, Portland, then moved on to DC United, took a couple of years off, and now he's back in Montreal. Good at, judging players, very good at man management, pretty good technical type coach, decent anyway. So yeah, he's a decent coach. The 52-year-old Venezuelan played pretty well. 3 team championships, 1 personal bronze medal as a player, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, is there anything we can look at for Montreal? How are they doing these days? What's their value like? Piet, of course, stripped. Well, he wasn't stripped of his captaincy. He voluntarily released his captaincy from Team Canada, so we had to go about and pick all new captains. We'll look at that later. But they've got some pretty good players. Petrasso, Adam DeCabi. This seems like a new dude. Sacco, Adam Lewis. It is, by the way, the foreign transfer window has opened. So this is a transfer window. And we've had, we haven't made any moves, obviously. But there have been some teams sniffing around some of our players. So we got a little bit to worry about. Overall, Montreal, secure finances, good training facilities, good youth facilities, very good stadiums. So looking fine. Looking wonderful. Let's get to the lineup. We're going to go with formation number 2. It's been doing very well for us. The team has been playing well, been scoring goals. It's been outstanding. So let's go. Let's submit that team. A couple of guys lacking match fitness, including Tibert. Florian Roux, we brought him back from loan. He wasn't doing too great on loan, and we needed a little bit of depth in the attacking midfield, so we brought him in. And here we go. Jean in goal. 25 appearances, 24 concessions for Montreal. Luis Matia Delmia, 24 appearances. Okay, so lots of these guys. Sacco. Fale Sacco. 2 assists, 1 goal. Heck of a mohawk going on there. Outstanding. Powers and Piet in the midfield. Piet, how many starts? Only 18 starts this year. 3 goals, 1 assist. DeCabi, there he is up top. 7 goals, 7 assists, 7.0 rating. Triple sevens. That's unlucky for us. Torres up top. Jay Torres, 4 goals, 5 assists. Petrasso on the right. And Modeste up top. 13 goals on the season. We're starting with McGee in goal, of course. 18 appearances, only 11 concessions on the season. Pretty good. Zlatkovic and Thomas. We're going to let the youngster get a run out today in the Canadian Championship. He's only started 1 game this year, but he has a goal and a 7.5 rating. Dunn and Hakkinen in the central defense. Norman and Tibert in the midfield. Tibert, captain, hasn't played a ton this year. 13 appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists. He has played well when he's in there. Timoteo and Venuto. And then our new dynamic duo up top, Senior and Hendricks. Well, Senior is the dynamic part. 13 goals in 16 starts. We found a goal scorer, ladies and gentlemen. First guy to have double digits in quite a while for Vancouver. And it's been a breath of fresh air to have somebody who can score goals. And then the other thing I've actually been doing recently is I've been bringing Venuto off the bench and moving him up to striker. Today we're going to start him at right wing. But look at this. 15 starts, 9 goals, 8 assists, 7.64 rating. So Venuto having another outstanding season. Highest average rating player and tied for most assists? Nope, just most assists. 8 assists. So we've been scoring goals this year, and it's been a delight, let me tell you. We got nothing to lose here. I know we're the underdogs. No. I expect you good result. Okay. Venuto is confused. Why are you confused? I don't know. I want a good result. What's confusing about that? Maybe because we're technically the underdogs? I don't know. Who knows what lurks in the minds of men? All right. Do what we normally do. Tunnel talk. The absence of Jackson Amell is sure to be felt. Yeah, we look good in training. They're a very good team. Blah, 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 blah. Who is this? Tom Lamb from the Vancouver Soccer Paper. Oh, yeah, this is Mr. Devious with great respect. So he gets 3 questions, I guess. That's the devious part. Vancouver's last meeting with Montreal took place and finished 2-2. What do you make of your chances in this match? If we perform as we can. Yes, there we go. All right. Saputo Stadium. Should be a big game. All right, I'm going to try to get both games in today. So we'll go down to key highlights. See if we can achieve that situation. There we go. Hakkinen boots one forward. Hendricks nods it on. Dalmia calmly waits for the ball. Very calm in the line of fire there. We are away, so that's why I want to go attacking. And I want to get some away goals. So that might not be everybody's, course of action when they play in these two-legged affairs, but it's definitely how I like to play. Senior gets the ball, drops it back to Norman. Norman, he's going to take that shot off the crossbar. Dalmea has to play it out, giving us a corner. All right, boys. Let's see if we can keep the pressure on and score another early goal like we did before. Tibert sends it in to Mateo. Oh, the goalkeeper fouled by Timoteo. All right, I guess you can't just run in front of the goalkeeper like that, unfortunately. Might make things a lot easier if you could. What was that? What did you say there, Mr. Assistant Coach? Having shots, but they're coming from long range. Encourage our players to play short plays. No. None of that. McGee. We want to play wide open attacking, so we're going to boot the ball. See if we can get behind this defense. There we go. There's Senior making a play. Gets it forward. Hendricks. Hendricks has been the disappointing part of that tandem up front, unfortunately. He has not been scoring as much as he should. Norman and Tibert, though, getting the band back together in midfield. Been playing a lot of youngsters in midfield. And, Tibert's been kind of out of the rotation a little bit. Here's Timoteo getting forward. Can he get it? He does get it to Senior, and Senior scores. Look at this guy. He's amazing. He's just one of those guys. He's got the knack. And this is why that I switch my forwards out, my attackers. I switch them out all the time until I find a guy like this. A guy who's just got the knack. He's going right down the lane. Nobody covers him, and he just scores. He's not the greatest looking in terms of attributes. 12 finishing, 9 composure. Shouldn't be a double-digit scoring guy, but he's got whatever it takes. 15 dribbling, 13 heading, 16 determination. Only 8 flair. Here's Hendricks on the run. Hendricks with a weak shot. Gene with a save right on the goal line. I really wish Hendricks would have taken a touch with that one. Hendricks, on the other hand, looks like a better goal scorer. Well, his finishing is actually down to 13. It was 14 at one point. But his composure's up to 11. Before it was 10. So I guess he's not much better of a goalkeeper. But he doesn't have the dribbling. He's got better flair. I don't know what, doesn't have the first touch, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is that gives this guy, makes this guy so much better goal scorer. Is it the 12 work rate? I don't know. Just some magical combination of attributes. Senior heads it on. There's Hendricks. Nope, can't get to it. Norman to Mateo. We've had so many good chances. I think if Hendricks was just a little better, we'd have a couple more goals. He's getting a couple served up on a platter for him, and he's been unable to finish. Ouch. Piet. Hendricks. Senior. Back to Hendricks. Tackled. Senior with 3 attempts. He just, right place, right time. That's determination, though, right there. 3 attempts at goal. Doesn't quit. A lot of crazy defending here from Montreal. Big slide tackle from Piet. Big tackle from Lewis. Senior beats his man and then pummels the goalkeeper while 2 defenders stand there and watch helplessly. And there he is. 2nd goal of the half for Darren Senior. We're going to be seeing a lot of this guy in the upcoming Olympic trials. Here's Senior again. Getting it back to Timoteo. Forward, Venuto, his first touch. Oh, goes right past his man. Norman heads it on Hendricks, down to Tieber, and he scores. We're killing him. 3 away goals. We're getting some revenge for earlier. I mean, that 2-2 draw, we should have won that game. The crowd is silent. Eerily silent. Gonna try to put this away in the first leg. Norman to Hendricks to Tibert. That was outstanding teamwork right there. That's not a play you draw up. That's one guy heading it to another guy who heads it to the goal scorer. All right, 3 goals first half. We're not going to give this up. Now, I forget against Montreal. So there were 2 times when I got up 2-0. And one time I dropped back to the 4-4-2 and came away with a draw. And the other time I stayed in the attack in the 4-2-4 and came away with a draw. So I wasn't happy about that. Then there was a 3rd time where we stayed in the attack and we won 3-2. I don't know. It was just, there's like no pattern to it. Anyway, 12 shots, 7 on target. They have no shots on target. That's outstanding. That'll help us out. We do only have 49% possession. Zlatkovic has lost possession more than anybody else. Maybe now, instead of changing formation, we could do what the assistant coach is asking for and just sort of dial back the passing a little bit. Dressing room, pep talk. Very happy. Keep it up. Let's go. Might have to take out some of those yellow cards. We have a lot of yellow cards on defense right now, including our young Master Thomas here, who is playing very well. 7.1. I mean, he's a pretty decent player. At 19 years old. We should be giving him more playing time than he's getting, unfortunately. But he's improving even without the playing time, so that's good. He doesn't have a terrifically high ceiling, at least not as far as our scouts can tell, but still, he is a talented player. Torres chips one wide. Now, the other factor in some of those games where the other team came back and tied it up is we were playing, one of our teenage goalkeepers. We played him a lot, trying to get ready for various competitions. There's a goal. Anthony Modesti. That was a bit of luck right there. Torres with the errant cross doinks it off one of our players straight to his teammate who scores. That's hard to blame the defense on that one. That was just a bit of luck. Dunn's not playing well. Venuto injured. Okay, take him out. We have been playing Mike Ross quite a bit. The 21-year-old first-round draft pick. He's been getting better, slightly improving day by day. He's still not a great player, but he does have pretty good potential and, pretty good physical ability, which we like. So, he's not bad. He's not bad at all. He's a super draft player. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about a super draft player? But we need to get him ready for Olympic trials because he'll probably be on the team for Olympic trials. Whether he makes the full Olympics team or not, I don't know about that. But we are going to need some wingers for our trialists. Trialists? Is that what they're called? No, probably not. Qualification team. Anyway, they've done 3 substitutions. So let's work on our opposition performance here. Okay, so fullback, tightly mark. Midfielder, close down. Attacking center mid, do both of those things. There we go. Confirm changes. Zlatkovic boosted up to a 7.1. T-Bert playing well, 7.3. Timoteo. Look at all the yellow cards. Just crazy. Close down on Daikabi. Sure. Gene, the dance machine, sends it downfield. Hakkinen with that yellow card, a bit bold. Oh, big steal from Hendricks. Can he cross it? He gets it to Senior. Senior one-on-one. Nope. Gene deflects that one wide. Senior sent it straight at him. Would have been nice if he sent that back to Hendricks. But maybe that would be asking a bit too much. T-Bert sends it in. Dunn looks like he might chase it down. He runs roughshod over somebody. Perez. Who is that? Danilo Perez, 31-year-old Brazilian. Playing for Montreal now. Okay, Petrasso going to send one in. Powers, scores, gets them back to 2 goals. Again, that's not really one you can blame on the defense. But we will. Let's skip that. Let's go to tactics. And we're going to get conservative. Nope, not that. There we go. Switch these guys around. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to do? I kind of want to switch out the defense. Even though they're playing well, I want to get those yellow cards out of there. So we're going to bring in Ahmed for Thomas and Victor Cabrera, one of our late season pickups, 30 years old. He's been playing very, very well. He's a veteran dude. He's a guy who should be playing for Team Canada right now, but Montreal made the enormous mistake of sending him out on loan for 1 season. Like, after he already had 4 years in the country, they sent him out on loan for a season, and he lost all that eligibility. So we're not going to probably get Victor Cabrera. So we're going to take Hakkinen out. I mean, he's 30 years old now, so we don't necessarily need him, but it would have been nice to have this guy for the last round of competitions. All right. So we're going to drop back. We're going to switch our defense. We're going to, try to hold out 3-2. Because we do still have a second leg to worry about. We don't want to lose that momentum and go into the next round 3-3. Here we go, Zlatkovic. T-Bert is booked. Okay, ease off tackles, my dude. Zlatkovic up to Timoteo. Senior. Senior, what are you doing? Get forward, my man. Norman. Out wide to Timoteo. Sends it across. Ross. Okay. We're sending some weak stuff towards the goalkeeper. I'm not real happy about that. He does only have 5 finishing. And only 8 crossing. So he's a very strange winger. There's Cabrera winning the header, but it goes to Branico. 87 minutes. Sends one out wide to Petrasso. Oh my gosh. I thought that was a goal and a half right there, but McGee just steps in front. McGee, do not fall for this trick. Do not fall for it. Thank you. We saw one of those goals last year where our goalkeeper bounced it off somebody's forehead and it went directly back into the net. All right, T-Bert. Calm it down, my dude. Ross, he likes to dribble. That was a nice pass, though. Senior, again, playing like the playmaker. He's just going to take it through the defense. Fired at Gene. He takes his target man role very seriously. He wants to be the target of every pass. T-Bert clapping as he gets ready to send it in. 88 minutes, still up a goal. Corner kick taking his time, waiting for his boys to shuffle around. And there we go. He drops it back to Norman. Norman back out to Tibert. Is this a training ground play, or are they making this up on the fly? Timoteo sends it in. Oh, he almost got that to Senior. That looked like a design play. They send it back in. Hendricks can't get there. Norman not quite fast enough. All right, here we go. 5 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes to go. There's a big header won by Senior again. He is all over the field today. He really loves playing against Montreal. That, East Coast, West Coast rivalry. Norman to Senior. Back out wide to Timoteo. Here goes Senior busting forward. Sort of overloading the zone here. Norman can't score. He should have crossed that. He should have squared that up for somebody. He had 2 or 3 guys rushing forward. Still a minute to go. Montreal with one last chance to tie it up. Perez loses it to Senior. Another big defensive play from Senior. It's his game today. And he just sort of sends one in to Gene. We've been talking him up big, and he came up with a big game. Dunn wins the header. Norman fouled, but Senior takes the ball. We're going to play the advantage here. Nope, we're going to turn it over immediately. Perez moves it forward to Branico. 30 seconds to go. He squares it. Great stop from McGee. Great stop. That held our lead. Hopefully we can keep the lead now after that. The stadium was holding their collective breath, and McGee comes up with that huge stop. I thought it was going to be a penalty. I thought they were going to score. But now McGee, look at him looking back at the crowd, just taking his time, wasting the clock. And there we go. We sneak out of Montreal with a 3-2 victory. 22 shots, 14 on target. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Zlatkovic, 85% completions of his passes. Outstanding. I mean, we knew Senior was going to be the player of the match. No questions about that. 2 goals, 9.0 rating in the second half. Outstanding. That was really special, guys. Nobody gave us a chance. I guess nobody gave us a chance. We're only top of the Western Conference. Why on earth would anybody give us a chance? I have no idea. Okay. So there we go. Toronto beats Ottawa 3-0. Vancouver over Montreal 3-2. Second leg coming up next. We're going to pause it here and get to that game. Pause. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second leg. We had some interesting and terrible news come through. No, it's not an injury. It is Norman has been bought away from us by Pumas. They have matched his fee of $7.5 million. So he's out of here. Nothing we can do about it. Can't say no. Can't say no. Yeah, so obviously the squad was not happy about that. Take a look at their dynamics here. Now, the good news is we do have a resilient squad. So there's still very good locker room atmosphere and all that stuff. But happiness has taken a bit of a downturn, as you can see here from all the red arrows. So Tibert came to me, said he's concerned about depth in the midfield. I said, don't worry about it. We got a lot of youngsters. We'll bring those up. No problems. So he was okay with that. The squad was okay with that. But we've now promised him to develop youth players. I think this is at least the second or maybe third time we've promised Tibert to develop young players. And I think we've pretty much made good on those promises of developing young players. Norman, one of those players that we developed, but now he's gone. So, I mean, the good news is we do have at least one outstanding young midfielder, and we'll get to the lineup here in a minute. Where is it? Okay, there we go. We'll go with the We'll go with the game match preview. We are the 6-4 favorites because we're at home this time. We managed to pull the away upset. Excellent form, 4 wins and a draw. Inconsistent form for Montreal, 3 wins and 2 losses. We raised our record against Montreal, 7 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Zanata is out with tendinitis for us. We got a couple of other guys out as well. They're not here on the list because they just came back from injury, but, I'm resting them anyway. Venuto among them. So it's, let's see, breezy, drizzly, 60 degrees. Should be no problem inside the dome. We know what these teams are all about, so let's just get to the team selection, right? We don't have to mess around. And we're dropping back to the 4-4-2. I think going forward after this, we're going to have to switch to the 4-2-3-1 going forward because we're just so low on wingers right now. Especially right wingers with Venuto keeps coming in and out of the lineup. Might have to bring somebody in and give us another right winger, but in the meantime, if we switch to the 4-2-3-1, we can either move Hendricks to left wing to Mateo to right, or we can bring Senior down to right wing, even though I probably don't want to do that because he's our best goal scorer. But, we might have to because we actually have a lot of depth, especially at attacking center mid, which these 2 4-4-2 formations that we run don't have an attacking center mid. So it's kind of a waste of depth, honestly. Anyway, submit our team. We'll worry about that some other time. For now, we'll go with what worked, 4-4-2. I think we gave up 1 goal in the 4-4-2, but it was kind of a fluke. It was off a set piece. They are going with the 4-2-3-1. Piet has moved down to central defense. That's strange. Okay. Pretty much they got Villalba. Martin Villalba, 24 starts at the left back. Sacco still at the right. Lewis moves down. Adam Lewis moves into the midfield. So have Diakabe up top. Torres, Petrasso, Modeste, that's fine. Our lineup is pretty much the same. McGee, Zlatkovic, Thomas, Dunn, Jaguar, Timoteo, Jackson Amel moves in for Norman. He's going to be our key player now going forward in terms of midfield. He's the guy we talk about when we say develop the young midfielders. It's going to be Jackson Amel. But I got worries that he might be leaving at some point too because he's just such a good player. Somebody's going to come in and try to buy him. Tibert also might be moving on. 30 years old. Normally that's past the sell-by date for me, but we might need to keep him around just for leadership and captaincy. Ross on the right, Senior and Hendricks. Senior and Hendricks have formed a nice little partnership up top. They've got the green line now. So, it's to be expected, honestly, with those two. They came up from the academy together. They've been on the team since they were like 16-year-olds. I'm sure when they were out there on the training pitch, these are the times that they were dreaming about and talking about, saying, we're going to go up to the senior team and we're going to, be the greatest strike partnership that has ever been seen, and now they got a chance to prove it. Senior's doing most of the heavy lifting right now, but Hendricks, hopefully he can come around. Let's see, another storyline. We got Victor Cabrera coming back to play against his team, Montreal. He's not starting today. I would have started him, but Jaguar and Dunn have such a nice partnership. I didn't want to break that up when we need defense. So, if something happens, we'll bring Cabrera in. He played fine off the bench last game, and he's honestly played fine for us all year long coming off the bench, so it's no problems. It's nice to have a veteran to come off the bench just because they've been there before. They've done that. They don't get excited to come off the bench. They just come out and do their job, and that's fine. I'm happy with that. Okay, the clock is rolling right now, and that's okay. We got a 3-2 lead, 3 away goals. We don't have much to worry about. We just have to keep the score low, keep Montreal off the board, and we're going to win. Move on to the next round. Uh-oh, here we go. All right, Tibert, free kick. Sends it in. Hendricks is going to chase it down, sends it back. A little bit of a ramshackle piece of execution there. T-Bert back to... All right, what are we doing here? It doesn't matter. Just get the ball to Senior. Just get it to Senior and he'll score. There was like 4 guys around him. Everybody else on our team had spread out, but Senior just stayed there like a pillar. Look at him. He's just sitting there. Look at that. Nobody around him. None of our guys around him. Surrounded by 5 defenders. And he's the one who gets the ball from his partner, Hendricks. So there we go. There's that partnership paying off. Outstanding way to start the game. First half goal puts us up 4-2. Sack goes an accomplished crosser of the ball. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. Whoops. Don't get out of here. Go back there. There we go. Make the change. All right. So, yeah. 4-2 is what we wanted. I'm just pressing all kinds of buttons right now. So, yeah. Right now, as things stand, it's looking good. It's looking like we're moving on. And we can make the board a little bit happy. And I'm sure nobody's going to be happy about that Norman deal. They're going to blame me, even though there's nothing I could do about it. So that's just, sort of the slings and arrows you got to take sometimes. Everybody's going to say, why'd you get rid of Norman? And it's like, well, they came in for him. What am I going to do? He's got it in his contract. Get out of here. He's gone to Pumas, gone to the Mexican League. I mean, it's not great for Vancouver, but it's fine for Team Canada because he's going to be playing at what is pretty much a higher level, playing against higher competition, and so that could help him, improve even more. And we're going to need him. We're going to need him in the midfield. That's for sure. With a lot of our older guys on Team Canada, this is going to be their swan song pretty soon. I am going to call T-Bert back up to the team just for his leadership and stability. And he's still pretty decent, still has decent physicals. Pace and acceleration are still fine. Passing. I mean, it's his mentals that we really need. Determination, leadership, teamwork, work rate. That's, a lot of great stuff to have in the midfield. 16. Determination, 17 work rate, 15 leadership and teamwork. Basically, I voted him vice captain because we need that stability with Piet dropping his captaincy. So I think that would pay off, and I hope it does. And we got some easier games coming up in the Nations League, so we should be able to sort of rebound, rebuild our confidence, and bounce back in the Nations League because we need that competition. We can't mess around in the Nations League. We have to advance in that competition. If we don't, it's probably curtains. Probably going to get fired from Team Canada. They've already given us a vote of, the dreaded vote of confidence, right? Whenever a board gives a manager or a coach the vote of confidence, it means they're going to be fired real soon. There's a horrific slide tackle from DeKalby. That's a red. Get out of here. You nearly injured my poor young right defender. Red card. Get out. Can't be doing that. Thomas, are you okay, buddy? Are you okay? Yeah, he's okay. He hasn't gotten a ton of game time this year, but he has still improved, which I mentioned last episode, but I thought I'd mention it again just in case. He's an exciting young prospect who isn't far from first team, which is basically what they say about everybody on the entire team. Jackson Amell, we cannot afford an injury to you, my buddy. All right, so we're going to move T-Bert there, and we're going to bring Rosalind in for T-Bert. I've been playing this Mazzala role. Probably don't need to do that. T-Bert, yeah, it can be. We'll put him box to box, sure. You know what? If we're going to do that, I'm going to keep him on the right-hand side. All right, I'm doing stuff. Just pay no attention. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There we go. All right. Bringing in Terry Rosalind. Guy who's been training well recently. Oh, we don't even get the chance to see him. T-Bert. Kick. Sends it in. Jaguar with the header off the crossbar. Timoteo keeps it in. Keeps it in the attacking zone. Looking to make a play. Oh, that's a nice, nifty little pass. Back to Dunn to keep things alive. This is looking like a highlight that's going to end pretty soon here. Good cross to T-Bert. Back all the way to midfield. And oh, that was the end of the game. I didn't even realize. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. We'll take a look at Rosalind real quick. I mean, look at him. He's improving. He's been training well the last few weeks. He's gotten some game time over the last 3 or 4 games. And it's helped him out a lot. First touch, free kicking. Very strong. His tackling has gone up tremendously. His long shooting's gone up tremendously. Everything else is improving, even his physicals. You know, he's 5'6", 141 pounds, but he's got 10 strength. That's okay, I guess, for a 19-year-old. So he's one of the guys who's going to get more playing time, without a doubt. Pep talk. Very. Congratulations. You've all dreamt of playing in the final. Now I'm delighted for you all. All right. So there we go. So we have no chance of getting fired at Montreal. We're blowing expectations out of the water. We're currently untouchable, nearly 100%. Well, nearly 90% anyway. 89% board confidence. They just want us to be competitive. We're first place. They want us to be mid-table. We're third in the league. They want us to reach the final. We have now reached the final. So there's absolutely no chance of anything going wrong. There we go. Untouchable. That's more like it. 95% overall. Outstanding. So we can do whatever we want in Montreal. It's Team Canada we have to worry about, and we have to play well in the Nations League. That might be the next competition coming up, depending on what happens first. So Nations League, September 9th. Meanwhile, where's the next round of the Canadian Championship? Is that even on the schedule yet? Canadian Championship is August. So we'll get to the next round of the Canadian Championship, and then we'll go Nations League. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.